There's an opportunity to provide organizations with an execution engine that drives performance. Here's the thing. 80% of the value created in your organization comes from the work of your people. It's time to get a handle on that value creation engine. So meet the engine. Every organization has assets, buildings, machinery, and so forth. Processes, things that we do, and people that actually do those activities. And those things get melded together to produce the products and services you offer to the market. Now, currently, we're outstanding at managing this stuff on the left, the assets, processes, products, and services. This comes from the evolution of management sciences way back from the agricultural era, where they're translating tangible assets into tangible assets. And we've developed and refined tools in this area, things like accounting tools, enterprise requirements planning, process improvement tools like Lean and Six Sigma, and measurement tools like the Balanced Scorecard. We understand this stuff on the left well. The dilemma is most of the value is created, though, in our knowledge-creating companies down here on the right. People. It's actually people that create the value by using those processes and assets to create those products and services. And the variability is another concern. Variability, our processes and assets, we've managed to get the variability out of those by our process improvement activities. But the variability is down that same stream by people. That's less reliable, repeatable, and standardized across organizations. So most of our value comes from people, and most of variability comes from people as well. Now, if we go back to the management thing, the historic side, we've done a great job on the tangible assets. And we've got our arms wrapped around the people through things like human capital or workforce planning activities. The dilemma is we're not really good at measuring what that human capital has done. We focus on the outputs without a clearer understanding of the linkage to strategic priorities, the value creation activities, or even the alignment across the organization and across customer bases. So let's take a look at this primary value driver and how we can better, more effectively measure people and their generation of products and services in the organization. So if we just scorecard that, there really are 4 components of work that people do that we should get our arms around. Thing 1 is, what has an individual done to contribute to our corporate values and corporate goals? And we should be able to, from our KPI system dashboard scorecard, find out specific activities around those values. So, for example, what has your contribution been around our value of safety? And based on the work you've done, how many points have you earned out of the total budget available to you for the year? And maybe you've achieved some specific activities that you can win awards for. Think of these as activities that contribute beyond the scope of the current business or achieve a certain milestone. The second bucket is the processes and projects that you work in day to day. So again, these are the metrics that we're looking for through our Balanced Scorecard and our planning and budgeting systems, cascaded down to the individual, and in particular, what is the role you have as an individual. And again, we should be able to take the same KPIs we look at in our monthly performance meetings and populate them onto your personal scorecard. And perhaps convert them to points based on the available points, the strategy points at play. What have you earned? And whatever the other awards are associated with the processes and the projects that you work on. The third component are things that you do for yourself to develop you as a better contributor to the organization. So at the beginning of the year, you establish a training plan. Maybe you're going to be an apprentice to someone, a mentor to someone else. What is it you've done on your development plan? And again, let's take a look at the activities from the human resource system and add in the points. And again, whatever certificates and awards you've won during the course of the year, coming from the HR or human capital workforce system. Then the final bucket of things is something that's opened up to us since the advent of social networking. What if we had an easy way for your co-workers and customers to send you acknowledgements? And again, based on what you've received, there'll be a point allocation, awards for achieving points levels, and so forth. Now, in truth, the peer side already existed. In the old days, we called that a 360 assessment, and you can continue to do your 360s and add them in here. But we should make it easy for a coworker to give you an accolade after a meeting. They whip out their smartphone and give you an award. Or for customers. Again, we do customer surveys after phone calls and stuff like that, but we could add in that quick response tool that smartphones give us. Now, when I come to do my quarterly or year-end performance review with my boss, I have a lot of facts and data to go by. It's no longer the individual boss making ad hoc decisions, facts and data. To look at this another way, just to summarize the concept, the success of the individual and the organization comes from 4 types of activity. One is an individual's contribution to corporate values and goals. Second, your contribution to specific processes and the strategic performance gains that you contribute to. Thirdly, your own personal development plans, your goals and objectives and how you contribute. And then finally, peer and customer accolades. And we need a way to begin rewarding employees for each of these on an ongoing, monthly, daily, whatever the drumbeat of the business is, basis, so that they can be aware of how they've contributed, able to self-manage and move forward, and self-motivate, as we just don't have time to give out the pats on the back, gold stars, and accolades that we did in times of yore. This way, people can self-reward.